Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is R.S. Raghu, and with me is Renuka, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment, and more. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 5G test bed at Silver Jubilee celebration event of TRI in New Delhi. Says India's telecom sector is a great example of self-reliance. New Delhi categorically rejects Pakistan National Assembly's resolution on delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir. India's President Ramnath Kovind addressed his joint meeting of the Houses of Parliament in Jamaica, says there is immense scope for cooperation and mutual learning between the two nations. Prestigious Cannes Film Festival opens in France on Tuesday. India to be the country of honor. India Pavilion at Cannes to be inaugurated by Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur on Wednesday, aims to focus on positioning India as content hub of the world. Prime Minister Modi reiterates India's commitment to improve ease of doing business in the film sector. In Women's World Boxing Championships, Indian pugilists Nekhat Zareen, Manisha and Parveen set eyes on gold as semi-finals will be played on Wednesday in Istanbul. And in IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad set a victory target of 194 runs before Mumbai Indians at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the Government of India has infused new energy in the telecom sector in the last 8 years with the Panch Amrit of reach, reform, regulate, respond and revolutionize. Mr. Modi was addressing the Silver Jubilee celebration event of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India TRI through video conferencing in New Delhi on Tuesday. Mr. Modi said India's telecom sector is a great example of self-reliance, adding that the connectivity in 21st century India will determine the pace of progress of the nation. On the occasion, the Prime Minister also launched a 5G test bed and said this indigenous 5G test bed in the telecom sector is an important step in India's self-reliance.
मुझे देश को अपना खुद से निर्मित 5G टेस्ट बेड राष्ट्र को समर्पित करने का अवसर मिला है। ये टेलीकॉम सेक्टर में क्रिटिकल और आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी की आत्मनिर्भरता की दिशा में एक अहम कदम है। मैं इस प्रोजेक्ट से जुड़े सभी साथियों को, हमारे IITs को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथ ही मैं देश के युवा साथियों को, रिसर्चर्स और कंपनीज को आमंत्रित करता हूं कि वो उस टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी का उपयोग 5G टेक्नोलॉजी के निर्माण के लिए करें। विशेष रूप से हमारे स्टार्टअप्स के लिए अपने प्रोडक्ट टेस्ट करने का ये बहुत बड़ा अवसर है। यही नहीं, 5GI के रूप में जो देश का अपना 5G स्टैंडर्ड बनाया गया है, वो देश के लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है।
The Prime Minister added that the 5G technology is a huge opportunity for startups to grow and test their products. The Prime Minister also said 5G will help in improving governance, ease of living and ease of doing business in the country. He asserted that the country should be able to launch 6G service by the end of this decade as the task force has started working on it. The mobile manufacturing units in India have also expanded from 2 to over 200 and now the country is the world's biggest mobile manufacturing hub. India has categorically rejected the resolution passed by the National Assembly of Pakistan on the subject of the delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir. In response to media queries regarding the resolution on Tuesday, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arinda Bagchi said Pakistan has no locus standi to pronounce or interfere in matters that are internal to India, including the Indian territories under Pakistan's illegal and forcible occupation. He said the entire territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh has been, is and shall always remain an integral part of India. The spokesperson said the delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir is a democratic exercise based on the principle of extensive stakeholder consultation and participation. He called it regrettable that instead of putting their own house in order, the leadership in Pakistan continues to interfere in India's internal affairs and engage in baseless and provocative anti-India propaganda. India reiterated that Pakistan must immediately cease anti-India cross-border terrorism and shut down its infrastructure of terrorism. It asked Pakistan to stop the grave and persistent human rights violations in Pakistan-occupied Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, refrain from effecting any further material changes in the status of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and vacate the Indian territories that are under its illegal and forcible occupation.
India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has launched indigenously built Navy destroyer warship INS Surat and frigate INS Udaygiri in Mumbai. Speaking on the occasion on Tuesday, Mr. Singh said, in the years to come, India will not only limit itself for building ships for Indian use, but cater to the demand of the entire world. He said the government aims for make for world and not just make in India. The defence minister said, considering the fact most of the international trade, including 2/3 of oil trade, 1/3 bulk cargo and more than half of container traffic in the Indo-Pacific region are done through sea route, it is imperative to maintain a safe and secure environment in the region, and India, being an important stakeholder, has the responsibility to contribute for the same, which can only be possible by creating a strong naval base. He said, considering the uncertain situation developing in Indo-Pacific and Indian Ocean regions, the role of the Indian Navy is going to be more crucial. He said, as India is growing into a strong, prosperous nation and is going in the way to be a global power, the role of the Indian Navy becomes extremely important. On the third day of his visit to Jamaica, India's President Ramnath Kovind addressed the joint meeting of the Houses of the Parliament in Jamaica. He was accorded a ceremonial welcome by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House. The Prime Minister of Jamaica delivered a welcome address and said that the help provided by India has deepened the relations of the two nations. President Kovind appreciated the warm reception given by the Jamaican people. He appraised the Parliament of the developments in several fields where India is taking the lead.
Manufacturing quality medicines and vaccines at affordable costs. India has crossed the renewable energy capacity of 150 gigawatts and has set itself a target of 450 gigawatts by 2030. We have also taken the lead in the International Solar Alliance to promote solar energy worldwide. India's space program has made great advances. We are one of the select countries to send an orbital mission to Mars, in addition to regularly launching satellites for countries around the world.
The President also made special reference of how the education sector of India is progressing. He said that India shares Jamaican vision of 2030. President Kovind said there is immense scope for cooperation and mutual learning between the two nations, including business, railways, agriculture, hospitality and tourism. Earlier, addressing the Indian community in Jamaica on Monday, President Kovind highlighted the significant role played by the Indian diaspora in Jamaica in strengthening the cultural bond between the two nations. President Kovind also held a meeting with Prime Minister of Jamaica Andrew Holness to enhance cooperation between India and Jamaica in trade and investment, services, sports, as well as cooperation in regional and multilateral fora. Following the meeting, the President and Prime Minister Holness witnessed the signing and exchange of an MOU between Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica on cooperation in the field of diplomatic training. President Kovind also inaugurated Ambedkar Avenue at downtown Kingston.
A no-confidence motion against Sri Lankan President Ghotbaya Rajpaksha was defeated in the Parliament on Tuesday after 119 MPs voted against it. The motion to suspend the Parliament's standing orders to debate the motion of displeasure against the President was moved by the opposition party Tamil National Alliance MP M.S. Sumantiran. Out of the total MPs, only 68 MPs voted in favour of the motion. Thus, it was not taken up for the debate in the Parliament. Samagi Jana Balavegaya MP Harsha De Silva said that among the other MPs, the newly elected Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also voted against the motion. This comes amid the rising demands for the resignation of President Ghotbaya Rajpaksha soon after former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajpaksha filed his resignation. The country is facing its worst economic crisis since independence, with food and fuel shortages, soaring prices and power cuts affecting a large number of the citizens, resulting in massive protests over the government's handling of the situation. Due to an acute shortage of foreign exchange, Sri Lanka recently defaulted on the entirety of its foreign debt, amounting to about $51 billion. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said the next couple of months will be the most difficult ones in the lives of all the citizens, and the country must be prepared to make some sacrifices. In a statement on Monday, Mr. Wickremesinghe said that foreign allies will assist their country in coming months. He asked his fellow countrymen to patiently bear the next couple of months to overcome this situation. Sweden has decided to formally apply to join NATO, following in the footsteps of neighbouring Finland. Both Finland and Sweden have ended their long-held positions of neutrality in the wake of Russian invasion of Ukraine. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said the Nordic countries would be welcomed in the alliance. However, the process could take months once their formal applications have been sent in. Since NATO was founded in 1949, the alliance has expanded to include 30 member countries, including 3 former Soviet republics, and the inclusion of Sweden and Finland would further expand the alliance's influence in the Arctic and in the areas around Russia. This is All India Radio, giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
The 75th Cannes Film Festival 2022 opens in France on Tuesday and will continue till 28th of May. The film festival is one of the highly anticipated and most prestigious events that several artists, celebrities and fans look forward to in the entertainment industry. It will be attended by some of the industry's finest actors. Red carpet event at the 75th Cannes Film Festival is going to be a gala event, as Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur, along with movie celebrities including A.R. Rahman, Nawazuddin Siddiqui and actor Pooja Hegde are set to work as part of Indian delegation. India is the official country of honour at Cannes Film Market in this edition of the festival. This is the first time that this honour has been bestowed on any country and comes at a time when India is celebrating its Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. India has been given an opportunity to pitch 5 selected movies at the Goes to Cannes section. A cinema hall called the Olympia Screen has been dedicated to India on 22nd of May for screening unreleased movies. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said the India Pavilion at the 75th Cannes Film Festival will focus on positioning India as a content hub of the world. In a newspaper article, the minister wrote that India's presence at Cannes this year holds significance in many ways. He said it will be for the first time that India's red carpet lineup captures the diversity of countries' cinematic excellence. The Indian minister reached Cannes on Tuesday and took a tour of the Indian Pavilion at the Cannes Film Festival on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. He also met Charles H. Rivkin, the chairman and chief executive officer of Motion Pictures Association of America. The India Pavilion will be inaugurated by him on Wednesday.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed happiness on India's participation as country of honour at the Cannes Film Festival this year. In a message, the Prime Minister noted that India's participation comes at the momentous meeting of celebration of 75 years of India's independence, 75th anniversary of Cannes Film Festival and 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and France. Positioning India as the largest film-producing country in the world, the Prime Minister said that multifariousness of Indian film sector is remarkable and rich heritage and cultural diversity are its strengths. He said India has a lot of stories to be told and the country truly possesses immense potential to become the content hub of the world. Mr. Modi reiterated India's commitment to improve ease of doing business in the film sector. He said that from facilitating international film co-production to ensuring single window clearance mechanism for permissions for filming across the country, India offers seamless possibilities to filmmakers of the world. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a discussion on special programs India at Cannes 2022.
75th Cannes Film Festival 2022 opens in France today and will continue till May 28. Cannes Film Festival is one of the big three major European film festivals, alongside the Venice Film Festival in Italy and the Berlin International Film Festival in Germany, as well as one of the big five major international film festivals, which consist of the three major European film festivals, the Toronto International Film Festival in Canada and the Sundance Film Festival in the United States. The film festival is one of the highly anticipated and most prestigious events that several artists, celebrities and fans look forward to in the entertainment industry. It will be attended by some of the industry's finest actors. The red carpet event at the 75th Cannes Film Festival is going to be a gala event as Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur, along with movie celebs including A.R. Rahman, Nawazuddin Siddiqui and actor Pooja Hegde are set to walk as part of the Indian delegation. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Shri Anurag Thakur announced that India is the official country of honor at Cannes Film Market in this edition of the festival.
India will be officially country of honor at the Marche du Film, which is organized alongside the Cannes Film Festival in France. The country of honor status thereby ensures India's presence as focus country at the opening night. India is also a country of honor at the Cannes next.
This is the first time that this honor has been bestowed on any country and comes at a time when India is celebrating its Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. India has been given an opportunity to pitch 5 selected movies at the Goes to Cannes section. A cinema hall called the Olympia Screen has been dedicated to India on 22nd of May for screening unreleased movies. This year, the India Pavilion carries a theme, India, the content hub of the world. It will showcase Indian cinema across linguistic, cultural and regional diversities of the country and will serve as networking platform for delegates from across the global community. This edition of the festival will also see the world premiere of R. Madhavan directorial debut, Rocketry, The Nambi Effect. The drama film is based on the life of Nambi Narayanan, a former scientist and aerospace engineer of the Indian Space Research Organization, who was falsely accused of espionage. R. Madhavan has donned the lead role in the film apart from producing it.
If somebody's film, no matter in what capacity, gets shown at Cannes, it's a big honor and a great source of nervousness. But for me, it's multiplied multiple times because not only is it a film that I've acted, directed, produced or written, it's also my debut and there will be a lot of hopes and aspirations and convictions riding on this film. So to say that I'm nervous is the least amount of my emotions that you can hear. But I'm also very grateful. The most important thing is when I feel all this fear and nervousness, I will also understand the whole reason why I wanted to tell this story in the first place. And the whole idea was to tell a story that moved me. I saw an interview of Mr. Nambi Narayanan and I was looking at doing subjects at that point of time that would make a difference to me as well as to the people who see a story like this. And when I saw that interview, he had tears in his eyes and he sounded like he was hurt more because the fact that he was accused of something which was going against the nation. And looking at that interview, I had no doubts that this was a story that I had to tell next. How, when and where was a big question, but I knew that was motivation enough for me because once I saw that interview, I just stood up and I clapped. And then this is a result of that. Sometimes a man wronged is a nation wronged is the tagline of our film, and you will understand when you hear Mr. Nambi Narayan's story why we are wronged as a nation by wronging one man. And it started off as a small idea, a small project. It started off as me not wanting to direct it, of course. But all of it just manifested itself in such a manner that today I'm in Cannes. And we're having a world premiere of this film on the 19th at 9 p.m. at one of the most prestigious theaters at Cannes. So that's how I feel, and I'm sure the listeners will understand and relate to me.
The winner, A.R. Rahman's directorial debut film, Le Masque, will also have its world premiere at the Cannes Film Market's Cannes XR program. The 36-minute film will provide a cinematic sensory experience incorporating virtual reality with motion, music and scent integrated into the narrative. Other Indian films to be screened at Cannes include Marathi film Godavari, Hindi film Alpha Beta Gamma, Mishing language film Bomba Ride, Hindi and Marathi film Dhuin and Malayalam film Tree Full of Parrots. We look back at the presence of Indian films in the festival. Indian movies have been a part of Cannes for decades. It was in 1946 when Chetan Anand's film Neecha Nagar won the top award, the Grand Prix Diu Festival, international Diu film now called Palme d'Or. A story about social realism, it depicted the class divide in the Indian society and starred Kamini Kaushal and Zuhra Sehgal.
लोग हमसे नफरत करते हैं। मैं कहने आई हूँ कि जो कुछ तुम कर रही हो ठीक है और भीख मांगने आई हूँ।
In 1952, filmmaker Rajaram Vankudre Shantaram's Aman Bhupali represented India at Cannes. It was nominated for the Palme d'Or and bagged the Best Sound Recording Award. In 1954, Bimal Roy's classic Do Bigha Zameen won the illustrious Prix International. In the following year, Bimal Roy's Biraj Bahu was nominated for Palme d'Or. In the same year, Baby Naz was honoured with a special distinction award for her performance in Rajpaksha. For its depiction of poverty in rural Bengal. The following year, Gautama, the Buddha, a documentary by Rajbhans Khanna, won the jury prize. In 1982, Mrinal Sen became an international jury member, and in 1983, his film Kharij won the special jury prize. Even his film Khandar was first screened out of competition in 1984 and then in 2010 as part of the Cannes Classics. A few years later, in 1988, Meera Nair Salam Bombay stole the show by winning both the Camera d'Or and the Audience Prize. The year also saw the screening of Bengali film Antarajali Jatra by Gautam Ghosh in the Uncertain Regard section. The next year, it was Malayalam film Piravi that received a special mention in the Camera d'Or category. By this time, regional cinema gained a prominent hold, and Shratijit Ray's Ganashatru had a special screening in 1989. In 1991, representing Northeast India at Cannes was Manipuri film Isha No by Aribam Shyam Sharma. Odia film Indradhanu Rachai competed for the Grand Prix in 1995. Marana Simhasanam, a Malayalam film by Murali Nair, won the Camera d'Or in 1999. The first Tamil movie to be screened at Cannes was Vegil. This was in 2006. In 2010, Udan, a story of 17-year-old Rohan, was selected for a screening in the Uncertain Regard category and bagged critical acclaim. Miss Lovely competed in the Uncertain Regard category in 2012. Anurag Kashyap's Gangs of Wasipur was screened at the Directors' Fortnight the same year. His other films, Ugly 2012 and Raman Raghav 2.0 2016, were also screened in the same category. While Irfan Khan and Nimrat Kaur starrer Lunchbox got a standing ovation at the International Critics Week in 2013, Amitabh Bachchan was chosen to open the festival. Titli by Kanu Behel was screened in the Uncertain Regard in 2014. In 2015, it was Masan and Chauthi Koot. In 2016, there was Bahubali, The Beginning, and 5 other films that were screened. However, the next 2 years we saw no films, but the following 2 years saw Manto 2018 and Sarabjit 2019 being screened.
In 12th IBA Women's World Boxing Championships, Indian pugilists Nikhat Zareen, Manisha and Parveen have set their eyes on gold medals as semi-finals will be played on Wednesday in Istanbul. Nikhat, Manisha and Parveen continued their brilliant run to confirm 3 medals for the country by entering the semi-finals in Istanbul on Monday. Semi-finals matches will take place on Wednesday, while the finals will be played on Thursday and Friday. Nikhat Zareen beat England's Charlie Davidson 5-0 in the quarter-finals. She will now take on Caroline de Almeida of Brazil in the semi-finals. Manisha defeated Moncor of Mongolia 4-1. She will take on Italy's Irma Testa, who defeated Uzbekistan's Sitora Turdibekova in another quarter-final. Parveen also made her way into the 63 kg semi-finals by thrashing Shoira Zulkenarova of Tajikistan 5-0. Parveen will be up against Ireland's Amy Broadhurst in the semi-final. In IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad have set a victory target of 194 runs before Mumbai Indians at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. In reply, Mumbai Indians were 126 for 3 in 14.5 overs when reports last came in. Earlier, Mumbai won the toss and opted to field first.
Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. Let's have a look at the press reports on China. SVMP reports more than 180 companies say they have been hit by China's lockdowns to rein in COVID-19. AP reports Uyghur country in China has highest prison rate in the world.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Nepal. Khabar Hub writes that Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have held a meeting in Lumbini on Monday. Kathmandu Post reports that MOUs relating to cooperation in education, culture and technical matters were signed between the two countries.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Pakistan. Pakistan Observer reports that Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority has issued a directive warning all satellite TV channels to refrain from telecasting content against state institutions, including judiciary and armed forces, in the talk shows, news bulletins and live coverage of public gatherings. The Dawn reports that the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed the Interior Minister to provide foolproof security to his predecessor Imran Khan after the PTI chairperson said on multiple occasions that there was a threat to his life.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Balochistan. Balochistan Post reports that more than 40 people have lost their lives and more than 300 people have been affected due to contaminated drinking water from ponds in Pir Koh area of Dera Bukti. Balochistan Post writes that the number of enforced disappearances of Baloch students at the hands of Pakistani army has increased after the suicide attack on Chinese nationals at Karachi University.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Bangladesh. Bangladesh Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen has said that the fugitive banker P.K. Haldar has been arrested in India on the basis of specific information provided by the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC, reports Pratham Olo. World Hypertension Day is being observed on Tuesday. It is celebrated on 17th May every year to create awareness about hypertension and its symptoms. A quick look at the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 5G testbed at Silver Jubilee celebration event of TRI in New Delhi. Says India's telecom sector is a great example of self-reliance. New Delhi categorically rejects Pakistan National Assembly's resolution on delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir. India's President Ramnath Kovind addressed a joint meeting of the Houses of Parliament in Jamaica. Says there is immense scope for cooperation and mutual learning between the two nations. Prestigious Cannes Film Festival opens in France on Tuesday. India to be the country of honor. India Pavilion at Cannes to be inaugurated by Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur on Wednesday aims to focus on positioning India as content hub of the world. Prime Minister Modi reiterates India's commitment to improve ease of doing business in film sector. In Women's World Boxing Championship, Indian pugilists Nikhat Zareen, Manisha and Parveen set eyes on gold as semi-finals will be played on Wednesday in Istanbul. And in IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad set a victory target of 194 runs before Mumbai Indians at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan Vaishnav Jan by artists from Zimbabwe. And with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.